SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We'll see Taylor Heineke and the Los Angeles Chargers versus Lamar Jackson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
Set for a start, it's Dicker the kicker. Cameron Dicker with a run-up, and off we go from SoFi Stadium. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
2nd and 10. Jackson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, we can talk about it like it's just a basic route, but how about the timing on this one? Lined up on the right, runs a deep in route, and how about the throw? Right on the money. Bam, puts it right in there and on his hands. Nice completion, really good pickup.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Open man is Tucker. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action now. Jackson. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Again, Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Lamar Jackson. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bucs go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. On 1st and 10, Heineke. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. 2nd and a couple. As they've got it as we resume action. They go play action. Now Heineke. And that's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Heineke now. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now a 2nd and 2. And the play fake, and now Heineke going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They run once more with Edwards. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. From the 43, here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing, Heineke. Got an open man, it's Josh Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 28. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To the air again, Heineke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Heineke. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Now Heineke setting up the screen here to Edwards. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Heineke again. It's Edwards again. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down. They were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back's feet.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Heineke to throw it. Short throw to Disley. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
I like the thought process. I like the design. But I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man. Because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
A beautiful fake. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Jackson now. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He's trying to get it to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that'll bring up second down. From the gun, Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Now a 3rd and 6. Now it's Jackson. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And Jackson throwing once more. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Third quarter now from SoFi Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Got St. Brown running the quick slant here. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson. Open man is Chase, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on it and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. Throw left side, pulled in by Tucker. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Heineke. Short throw to Disley. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. From the gun, Heineke. A swing pass here to Edwards.
And we're definitely getting towards the point of the game where not getting a lot of yards is secondary to keeping the clock moving. I mean, to me, that's a double win defensively. Short gain and some more time off the clock.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Heineke. Finding Edwards. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Final 90 seconds here. It's 2nd and 10. Heineke. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Heineke. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 33.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This is 1st and 10. And they'll throw again, Heineke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, It may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Short throw to Disley. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A big play looming on third down. To throw is Heineke. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 13-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Heineke. Dumps it off to Edwards. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll come up now on 2nd down. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw again. And this is caught, so it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.
From U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Indianapolis Colts.
Curls down to zeros.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.